Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in Classic World of Warcraft. For the 8th week in Classic World of Warcraft I was away, so I didn't get to do much, but it's Hallows End, so let's take a look at Hallows End. If you come outside the auction house in either Orgrimmar or Ironforge, you'll find a Hallows End treat vendor. In Orgrimmar this is the location, right outside the auction house. Her name is Raquel, and if you click on it you'll find that she is selling candy. Happy Hallows End, how do you like my mask? Very scary. What Hallows End candy do you have for sale? And you can see she's got 4 varieties. The Ballar's Nutter Bar, Tiggle and Forrer's Strawberry Ice Cream, Moonbrook Riot Taffy, and Stylene's Sour Sucker Pop. And if you complete the quests for Hallows End, she'll have a 5th variety, which is the Hallows End treats that you can get for doing the quests. She also has a little bit of dialogue about the festival itself. What isn't there to do, you mean? Each of the innkeepers throughout the world are handing out trick-or-treat goodies, and many of the towns are decorated for the season. Also, there is the Wickerman Festival just outside of Undercity during the evenings. One more thing, I've heard that a sick little girl at the orphanage here in Orgrimmar is looking for someone to help her gather treats for the holiday. Maybe you could help her out?
Dark Lady, watch over you.
So the Wickerman Festival is at 8 PM outside of Undercity, and we need to go to the orphanage in Orgrimmar to help a sick little girl. But if you come to the inns in any of the towns or the capital cities, you'll find a barrel where you can go bobbing for apples. Once you click on the barrel you will be given 5 apples. You can't carry more than 5, so make sure you've got 5 when you're doing your bobbing before you go out to do your questing. Bobbing apple. Use restores 2% of your health per second for 24 seconds. Must remain seated, and it will give you a buff of stamina and spirit for 15 minutes, and that's why you want to pick them up during the festival, so that you can have that buff while you're out questing and doing your dungeons and your raids and everything, just for that extra little free buff. Also, you can see the decorations. Here you've got the big candy bucket that they're handing out, but in order to get a treat or a trick you need to speak to the innkeeper and click on Trick or Treat, at which point you'll be given a trick or a treat. If you're given a trick you're turned into something, and if you're given a treat you'll find a little bag to open, a treat bag, in your inventory. The treat bag can contain a variety of things. It can contain wands that give the person that you click on a random costume. You can get masks to put on, like the Tauren one that I've just got here, and you can also get 4 different types of candy which will restore your health, your mana, and give you a little buff. So good luck in getting nice things while you're out there, and even if you get tricked you get a little costume and have a little bit of fun. The trick-or-treating can be done at any innkeeper out in the world, and you can do it once per hour. Once you do the trick-or-treat you can see you've got a 60-minute debuff by the minimap, so that will always remind you when you can go out and do another one. And here I got a candy bar which will restore 3% of your health and mana while eating. To help the orphan in Orgrimmar you need to go to the Valley of Honour, and you'll find Orphan Matron Battle Wall outside of the orphanage. Here you can see the location. If you're Alliance you need to go near the cathedral in Stormwind, and you'll find the orphanage just in the square where you can find the cathedral. For the Horde you can see that we're in the Valley of Honour and we're overlooking the fishing trainer, and this is the location of the orphanage for the Horde. Inside you'll find the child that the candy vendor told you needed help because they were too sick to go and do the trick-or-treating themselves. For the Horde you'll find that it's a little orphan orc girl called Spoops, and she has a quest for you. I'm sad. It's Hallows End and I'm sick. I'm going to miss out on trick-or-treating because I can't go out. Oh, isn't that sad? Hallows End treats for spooks, and for the Alliance it's treats for Jasper. I want to go trick-or-treating, but I can't because I'm sick. If you go for me, I trade you the candy you get for some I already have. I think you'd like this candy. It makes you turn into things both funny and scary. Each of the innkeepers in the big cities have candy they give for Hallows End. Talk to them and do the tricks that they ask for. Also, a troll named Caliremic in Senjin village is handing out candy as well. When you have all the candy, bring them back to me here. Speak with the innkeepers of Orgrimmar Undercity and Thunderbluff, as well as Caliremic in Senjin village. Perform the tricks they ask of you in exchange for the treats they offer. Return to Spoops at the Orgrimmar orphanage with a Thunderbluff marzipan, Dark Spear gumdrop, Orgrimmar nugget and Undercity mint. And she will trade you these 4 treats for some treats she has herself. The Hallows End pumpkin treat, which has a duration of 14 days, so just lasts for the festival. Use, enjoy a tasty Hallows End treat. And then it warns you that you need to eat them before they go off, but it's got a 14-day timer, hence the reason. So let's head out and visit all of the innkeepers. In Orgrimmar, it's innkeeper Grishka, next to the auction house. In the Valley of Strength. And her quest is flexing for Nugget. That's an interesting costume you have on. Even though you're being nice and helping a sick child trick or treat this year, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to perform a trick for me. Let's see. You look so strong and buff in that costume. Let's see you flex. Yes, go on now and flex for me, strong woman. When and only when you flex, I'll give you some tasty Orgrimmar nugget. It's a great Hallows End treat. Do a flex emote at Innkeeper Grishka. In exchange, you'll receive the Orgrimmar nugget, an Orgrimmar classic Hallows End treat. So let's flex for Grishka. Ta-da! Oh look, flexing in unison. And then let's turn that in and get the sweetie. You are truly mighty. Ha ha! Well done, and thanks for being such a good sport. Here's your candy. Happy Hallows End, Oshi.
For the horde.
As you can see, it is possible to repeat the quest, but since the candy itself is unique and you can only carry one of them, I believe that's in case you accidentally delete one before you turn the quest into the orphan, because there's no other use for it apart from for the quest for the orphan. There isn't an innkeeper in Senjin village, but if you come to Senjin village to the big hut, just on the veranda or porch outside the front of the hut, you'll find the person with the quest for the candy for the child. Caliremic can be found dancing here on the porch with the quest Incoming Gumdrop. A trick-or-treater! Yay, mon! Well now, even though you're doing something noble and collecting candies for a sick child, I can't let you off the hook that easily. I have a yummy dark spear gumdrop to give to the sick child. If you make a train noise for me. Ha ha! Yeah, that'll be the trick. The price of this gumdrop is 1 train noise. Chugga chugga hunter! Do a train emote at Caliremic and in exchange you'll receive a dark spear gumdrop. And this of course is the classic Hallows End treat of the Dark Spear tribe.
Good to meet you. Relax.
So let's emote at Kali, the train. Woo woo, chugga chugga choo choo, woo woo. Woo woo, well done Oshoshi. Here's your treat. And we now have the Dark Spear Gumdrop, which again is a unique candy. And again the quest is repeatable, but there's no point unless you accidentally delete your gumdrop. Don't do that. Next stop, Thunder Bluff, and you want to go to the innkeeper on the lower level of the town, where you can find the little pool and the auction house and the bank. We're outside the inn here, and if I turn around you can see the lift over in that direction, the big pool in front of you, the auction house over there ahead of you, and right next to us is the bank, just there. Let's head inside and speak to the innkeeper and see what she wants us to do for the candy here. Innkeeper Parlour's quest is
Well met.
dancing for marzipan. Even though you're trick-or-treating for a sick child, you still need to perform a trick for the treat. We can't very well change the tradition now, can we? I believe the cost of a piece of marzipan nowadays is to burst out and dance. That's right, let me see your moves. Dance for me and I'll give you some tasty marzipan. And that is of course the classic Hallows End treat of Thunder Bluff. So let's dance for Parlour. Oh, she's going to dance with us. Dance party time, guys! Dancing for marzipan, there we go.
I have just the thing for you.
You're quite the dancing machine, Oshi. Here's your treat for being such a good sport. Happy Hallows End, and give my best to your sick little friend. I hope they get better soon. And we now have our Thunder Bluff
Goodbye.
marzipan. So now we have 3 of the 4 tasty treats. So let's put them all together so we don't accidentally delete them and have to utilise the repeat quest thing. And let's head over to Undercity. The final candy for spoops can be found in Undercity, on the top ring opposite the bank. And this is where it is on the map. It's the side of the magic quarter and we're on the inner ring on the upper level. Innkeeper Norman has the quest for us. What would you like us to do, Norman?
Speak quickly.
Chicken clucking for a mint. Ah, trick-or-treating for a sick child, are we? I was going to say, you're a little old to be rummaging around for candies. Well, for my treat, an Undercity mint, you will need to cluck like a chicken. Yes, chickens love mints. Well, okay, maybe they don't love them, but I won't give you a mint unless you chicken cluck for me. Well, Hunter, are you up to the challenge or not? Time to earn your treat. Do a chicken emote at Innkeeper Norman, and in exchange you'll receive an Undercity mint, a classic Hallows End treat of the Undercity. So it's not cluck, it's chicken, isn't it? Yeah, he said chicken, didn't he? So chicken, and then we'll do the, yeah, we go. Bark bark, chicken clucky 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 clucky.
That better be good.
Too funny. Well done, Oshi. Here's your treat. Happy Hallows End. So the guy's got quite a sense of humour here. So now we have all 4 treats for spoops, so we can take them back to her in the Orphan orphanage. Before returning to Orgrimmar, I recommend you come outside of Undercity, so right in front of the gates here, and if you turn to your left and follow the road around to the side of the city, you'll find the site for the Wickerman. Sylvanus will come here at 8 PM server time every evening to burn the Wickerman, and then you can click on the ashes and you'll get a 2-hour buff which increases your mana regen, health regen and your stamina for 2 hours. So if you're going to be on the server between 8 PM and 6 AM, you can just pick up the buff. If you're Alliance, you need to come to this area, and I believe you need to kill one of these Stitcher Wickerman guards in order to get the 2-hour buff that way. The Horde can get a couple of quests here at the Wickerman site, and the Alliance need to go to Southshore to get their 2 quests. Darkcaller Yanka has a little bit of information for us about the festival. Welcome to the Wickerman Festival, Hunter. On the observance of Hallows End, the Forsaken burn a Wickerman in honour of this, the most revered of occasions. It was on this day that the Banshee Queen herself delivered us from the clutches of the Lich King and the Scourge. We have remained free ever since. Those who would have seen us fall are repaid in full, with vengeance. The burning of the Wickerman begins at 8 p.m. So the festival celebrates the release of the Forsaken from the rule of the Lich King. The Alliance side for this festival is billed as a bit of disruption of the festivities for the Undercity. So the quests that they have kind of parallel but in reverse the quests that the Horde have to do. And we have two quests here, Stinking Up South Shore and Rotten Eggs. Stinking Up South Shore. Celebrate Hallows End in style by bringing grief to our enemies in South Shore. Take one of these specially crafted stink bombs. It is filled with an odoriferous funk that no human, or any weak-willed beast for that matter, can stand to smell. You'll need to throw it right in the heart of South Shore for it to do its job, so be prepared for a fight against the Alliance. When you've completed this task, this tribute to our liberation, return to me. Toss 3 Forsaken stink bombs into the heart of South Shore in Hillsbrad and return to Dark Caller Yanka at the Wickerman Festival, and she'll give you some Hallows End pumpkin treats in return.
Our enemies abound.
Rotten Eggs. The humans of South Shore love their ale, and as such they prize the ale served at the South Shore Inn. With the chaos of Hallows End now upon them, we can use it to ruin their latest batch of beverages for weeks, if not months to come. Take these rotten eggs and place them in the main brew keg inside the South Shore Inn. Your presence alone will cause strife, so be prepared to defend yourself. Once you've given South Shore a taste, they'll not soon forget. Return to me. So let's head all the way over to South Shore. Here I am on the outskirts of South Shore. There's Tora Mill, that's the closest flight point for the Horde. As you can see, I'm coming in from the tower side of South Shore because I found that you can sneak through the outer defences without having to fight and get really close up to town. So you only have to take out a couple of mobs before you can sneak in and place your stink bombs down. So this is the first guy that I'm going to fight. I'm going to try and pull him back a bit before I send my pet in, so that we try not to aggro any extra guys and can pick them off one at a time. So you can sneak in and just place the stink bombs quite easily, even if you're on your own. Unless you're on a PvP server, in which case you're probably going to have raid groups on both sides and clash and maybe never get to do the quest, but you're going to have an awful lot of fun doing it. But I'm on a PvE server, so there aren't that many people around, just a few low-level Alliance players doing the quests and the guards. So as long as you don't get too many guards, you'll be okay, unless you try and go inside the inn to do the Rotten Eggs quest, because there's quite a few guards inside that inn, so I'm still not quite sure how I'm going to do it. I might try and just rush in and feign death and hope that you can actually reach the keg from the stairs without aggroing all the guys inside, because if you aggro all of them, definitely going to die, and it's going to be messy. As you can see, we've already placed one of the stink bombs, and now we're fighting our second guard, and we could of course just keep placing them in roughly the same location after this one's dead, and we probably wouldn't have to fight anybody else. But I'm going to try and place them in slightly different locations. I believe the Alliance have a quest to clean up these stink bombs, and then I think their second one is to go up to where the festival is and disrupt it. So let's see if we can sneak between these buildings and see how many of the guards we might attract to trying to place down our final bomb by the well. And then the building you can see straight in front of us across from the well, that's the inn where we need to sneak into to plant the rotten eggs in the kegs. So there we've placed our 3 stink bombs, so now we need to figure out how to get ourselves into the inn. So I figure you might be able to slowly try and sneak, pulling one mob at a time. If you get 2 or 3 you might be in trouble because they are quite high level, and They do seem to hit quite hard, so pull one at a time and slowly edge your way in, or try and sneak in. If you are a rogue or a druid, you can probably stealth into the inn and see if you can do it that way. Well, that's one of the named mobs. We might not want to pull them. So I decided there were too many guards for one person to take out on their own, so I definitely recommend a few friends if you're going to be doing these quests. But you can feign death on the stairs and lose aggro. Oh, no, we've still got the aggro even on the stairs. If my pet can hold the aggro for a second. Oh no, one's beating upon me and I went too far down the stairs to reach the keg. Let's see if we can put the rotten eggs in the keg. Let's quickly do the quest, turn them in, and nope, we're going to have to run back to try and finish that off. So definitely recommend a few friends to get this quest done quickly and easily. So I'll just run back and see if we can complete that quest quick. And we managed to get the quest turned in, so we will get some tricky treat candies if we can get ourselves out of town and get back to the festival site to turn that in. Is there any chance we can run away without dying? I suspect not. Look how many of them there are, and that's why it's really hard to try and do solo. Time to turn in at the Wickerman. Dark Collie Yanker, I have your quest done. Stinking up South Shore. Oh, well done. I hope the Alliance chokes on the foul gift we've given them, much like we were forced to choke on the yoke of enslavement to the scourge. You've kept the ideas of Hallows End true, Oshi, and for that I salute you. As an extra bonus, let me share some of these Hallows End treats I have with you. I think you might find them to be quite the enjoyable diversion, and you get 15 pumpkin treats from her for that. Ruined kegs. Ah, success! You've shown true Hallows End spirit. Forsaken spirit, I should say. Dark Collie Yanker laughs and rubs her hands together. I revel in the fact that South Shore must now feast on bad ale or go without. As for you, take these treats. I believe you will find good use for them. And we get 15 more pumpkin treats from her for doing that. Let's just take one last look at the Wickerman and return to Orgrimmar. Back at the orphanage. Here again in the Valley of Honour. We have the treats to turn into our sick child, Spoops. Hallows End treats for Spoops. Have you finished trick-or-treating yet? I'm sad that I can't go because I'm sick, but you helping me out makes me feel a little better. Wow! You got them all! You're awesome! Thank you for trick-or-treating for me. Here, take these pumpkin treats. I think you'll like them a lot. Happy Hallows End, Oshi! And she gives us 30 pumpkin treats, so now we've got 60 pumpkin treats as rewards for doing the quests for Hallows End. And if you click on one of the pumpkin treats, you'll now have a magic disguise for 20 minutes. So here we are, a male pirate, or a male bandit if you want, because he's got the mask over his face. And there's a variety of different disguises that you can get and walk around with for 20 minutes at a time. And here are a few more of the disguises that I've managed to see so far with the tricky treats. You can be a skeleton, you can be various types of pirate, you can be ghosts, and I'm sure there are many more as well. Once you've completed the treats for the Orphan quest, if you come back to the Hallows End treats vendors, outside the auction houses in either Orgrimmar or Ironforge, you'll find that they now sell 5 Hallows End pumpkin treats for 35 silver, so if you want any more of these disguise treats, you can buy them from there. Do of course remember that these treats will disappear at the end of Hallows End, so don't overstock on things that you're not going to have time to use. And here you can turn yourself big and orange as well, so that's another disguise that you can get. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!